I'm Sergeant Rodney Jones of the Atlanta Police Major Crimes Robbery Unit. Between July 8th and the 12th, there were 8 armed robberies impacting the Buckhead, Morningside, and Virginia Highlands community, which appeared to be connected. In the two cases, the victims were taken. I'm sorry. In the two cases, the victims' vehicles were taken at gunpoint and used to commit additional robberies. Under the guise of a food delivery service, the suspects would complete the delivery order to the intended customer. After completing the delivery, the suspects then proceeded to search the same area for individuals to target for robbery. After completing the robbery, the suspects would travel to another location and continue the same pattern. Through the collaboration of the robbery and criminal intelligence units, investigators were able to use departmental technology and other resources to identify the connection between these cases. In addition to departmental resources, the food delivery service provided essential information that led to an extensive and coordinated takedown of the suspects. During the takedown, there were 3 suspects taken into custody. There were a 21-year-old male, a 16-year-old male, and a 16-year-old female. Currently, we have warrants outstanding for the 4th individual, which is a 15-year-old male. Do we have any questions?
Could you walk us through again what you were just describing as far as how they would go about these crimes as your investigation has shown?
Okay, so the person would act as a food delivery service, so he's actually operating a food delivery service vehicle. Will go to a location, deliver that food to the consumer, and then after delivering that food, they would begin looking for subjects or targets in that area to rob.
So you're saying the suspects attacked the food deliverer first and took their car? Is what was happening?
No, sir. So the person was occupying or acting or in the role of a delivery service provider, food service provider. After they delivered food to the customer, then after the food was delivered, they'll go and then search that area to rob other individuals. And then after they will rob someone at that location, they'll go deliver food to another location. After that food has been delivered, then they would rob in that area as well.
So they were actually working as, whether it's Uber Eats or whatever the service was.
Correct.
Uber Eats or whatever the company was didn't know that they were obviously up to this kind of crime.
Right. No, the company did not know, and it was not Uber Eats.
And so how many victims were there that you've identified so far?
So far, out of the 8 armed robberies, we have about, I want to say it was 11 victims total.
Do you believe that they might be connected to more, that they have been robbing people before the first incident that you're aware of?
Right now, we don't have that information, but as we continue the investigation, I can update you on that later. But right now, we have them isolated to these 8 incidents.
Did you find any correlation between the victims? I spoke to an elderly couple, also 2 women. There seemed to be a lot of women and either elderly couples mixed in there. Did you see anything like that?
No, speaking to the suspects, it was done at random. They wasn't targeted. It was random, and it was just based on who was in the area during the time after they dropped the food off.
And did they cooperate with you? Have they admitted to all of this? What's that situation like?
I can't talk about that at the moment, but they are in custody.
There's sort of pretty brazen attacks. They were sneaking up on people just walking along. It was all different times of the day, nights. How important was it for you guys to get these guys?
It was extremely important for us to get these guys. As you stated, they were brazen. I'm fortunate and I'm happy with our intel unit was able to quickly help us identify these subjects. We was able to get a coordinated effort from all of our units throughout the city. Our first crime happened, like you said, on the 8th, and by the afternoon of the 12th, we had them in custody.
What about this 4th suspect? How did this person come about? Was he in the car at the same time, or is he someone that you discovered through speaking to the other suspect?
No, he was in the car as well. He was in the car.
What exactly have you identified that you believe they stole? 2 cars? Could you run through the list of...
They took 2 cars. They also took various wallets, phones, keys, anything of value from the victims.
Were they using firearms in the commission of these crimes?
Yes, sir. They were armed robberies, so they used firearms in all of the cases.
And do you anticipate, I think you just so I'm clear, that they might be responsible for any other crimes, armed robberies?
Right now, we have them tied down to these 8, and we will continue that investigation. And if we recover that they was involved in any additional ones, then we'll charge them. But right now, we don't have that information.
What do you make of all this, Sergeant, these kids doing this kind of thing?
Most of the kids right now just look like, they're out and they just don't have anything else to do at the time. I believe in this particular case, the older male probably should have been a better role model to the kids at the time, but however, it didn't happen in this situation.
Of course, there's so much focus on gang activity. How have you been able to establish whether they might be a gang or might be associated with some sort of gang that you're also investigating?
So right now, like I said, it's still an ongoing investigation. Our criminal intelligence unit is actively trying to make a gang connection between these cases.
What about, so these were armed robberies. Did they attack anyone? Did they, threaten anyone with, I'll pull the trigger and kill you? Anything like that to any of the victims?
Yeah, all the victims were presented a handgun and was told to, if they didn't give up their items, something would happen to them.
Did they attack them at all? Did they hit them or anything?
No, no one was injured. None of the victims were injured in any of these cases.
You recovered one gun, correct?
Oh,
Did you
well.
recover a gun?
We recovered multiple guns.
Multiple guns?
Yes.
How many, sorry?
I'm not sure, but it was more than one.
And so it was a combination of this scheme of delivering food plus crimes of opportunity, or what was actually happening here?
Like you said, it was a combination of someone was working, delivering food, and when the crime presented itself, they took advantage.
Does it say, was it just by coincidence that it was all around the Buckhead, Virginia Highland area? Could it have been anywhere, or were they actively trying to deliver food in those areas?
Wherever they were delivering food, and that's not based on, that person, it was just the consumers. When they call in the food orders, wherever that order took them on that particular day, they would just search those areas.
Can you tell us the company?
I can't tell the company at the moment.
Anything else?
Well, what can any of us do? There's so much going on out there. What would you suggest that people do to prevent this kind of thing?
My suggestion to everyone is just be alert. If you see something in the area, especially walking at night, like how these incidents was, don't walk at night by yourself. Don't be alone. If you see anything, just make sure you report it to us.
I mean, you're ordering food and you trust that the person who's going to deliver the food is just going to deliver the food.
Yeah, I understand that. The person that delivered the food did get delivered to that customer. That customer did not have anything to do with what transpired.
And were those people who were getting the food, were they also attacked?
No, they were not attacked.
So the delivering the food had nothing to do with the crimes that you arrested them for?
Correct.
Yeah, I'll explain to you after.
Okay.
Do you have anything else?
Good?
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, man. Just